Have you ever wondered how our modern world came into being? How did we transition from an agrarian society to a world dominated by industry and technology? It all started with the Industrial Revolution. Let's journey back to the 18th century Europe, a time and place where the seeds of the Industrial Revolution were being sown. This was an era of significant change and development, laying down the groundwork for the dramatic transformation that was to come. Population growth was a key factor. As more people survived infancy and lived longer, the demand for goods and services grew. This increase in population wasn't just about numbers, it was about potential workforce, potential consumers, and potential innovators. It was the human fuel that would drive the engine of the Industrial Revolution. Alongside population growth, urbanization was making its mark. People were moving from rural areas to towns and cities in search of work and opportunity. These urban centers became hubs for commerce, innovation, and exchange of ideas, creating a dynamic environment ripe for industrialization. But what about the economy? Well, it was all about agriculture. Advancements in farming techniques and tools led to increased crop yields. This agricultural revolution meant fewer people were needed on the farms, freeing up labor for new industries. It also meant more food, which supported the growing population, and surplus crops could be sold, injecting more money into the economy. And we can't forget the role of capital. Accumulated wealth from trade and colonies provided the necessary funds to invest in new technologies and industries. It was this combination of available labor, urbanization, agricultural advancements, and capital that set the stage for the Industrial Revolution. So, here we have it, the pre-industrial world, teetering on the brink of a seismic shift. A world where conditions were just right for a revolution that would change the course of human history forever. Now that we understand the conditions that paved the way, let's delve into the major technological innovations that sparked this revolution. The Industrial Revolution was not merely an economic shift, but a technological revolution. The inventions of this period would forever change the world. It was like a spark that ignited a fire of progress, innovation, and transformation. Let's delve into some of these groundbreaking inventions. First came the steam engine. This remarkable machine, improved by the genius of James Watt, used the power of steam to create motion. It was a game changer. The steam engine not only revolutionized transportation, making it faster and more efficient, but it also powered factories, mines, and mills, becoming the beating heart of the Industrial Revolution. Next, let's consider the textile machinery. Before the revolution, textiles were primarily produced in homes, a process that was painstakingly slow. Enter Richard Arkwright and his water frame, a machine that spun cotton much faster than human hands ever could. This innovation, along with others like the spinning jenny and power loom, allowed for mass production of textiles, propelling the industry into a new era. Then there was the transformation in iron production. Innovations like the puddling process made it possible to produce high-quality iron on a large scale. This paved the way for the construction of everything from bridges and railways to machinery and tools. These technological advancements were the catalysts that propelled society into the industrial age. They reshaped economies, redefined industries, and reimagined what was possible. But the story doesn't end there. Behind these machines were the minds that created them. The inventors, the engineers, the laborers, they were the human cogs in this great machine of progress. Their ideas, their sweat, their spirit, they were just as essential to the revolution as the machines they built. These inventions were monumental, but the Industrial Revolution was not just about machines. It was also about the people who made them. Behind every great invention, there's a great inventor. The Industrial Revolution was no exception. This period of radical change and innovation was spearheaded by trailblazers who dared to think differently, push boundaries, and revolutionize the world as we knew it. First among these was James Watt, a Scottish inventor and mechanical engineer. His improvements to the Newcomen steam engine were fundamental to the changes brought by the Industrial Revolution. Watt's genius lay in his realization that the existing steam engine design wasted a lot of energy. He redesigned the engine to have a separate condenser, which dramatically increased its efficiency. This innovation powered the factories, mills, and mines that were the beating heart of the Industrial Revolution. Now let's turn our attention to Eli Whitney, an American inventor best known for inventing the cotton gin. This seemingly simple device revolutionized the cotton industry by making it possible to separate cotton fibers from their seeds quickly and efficiently. Whitney's invention transformed the southern United States into a powerhouse of cotton production, fueling the growth of the textile industry in both America and Britain. Last but certainly not least, we have Richard Arkwright, an English inventor and a leading entrepreneur during the early Industrial Revolution. Arkwright's claim to fame was his invention of the water frame, a water-powered spinning frame which was an important step forward in the mechanization of textile production. His factories were some of the first to use modern production methods, and they set the standard for factories throughout the Industrial Revolution. These three men, James Watt, Eli Whitney, and Richard Arkwright, were just a few of the many key players who shaped the Industrial Revolution. Their groundbreaking inventions not only transformed industry, but they also laid the groundwork for the technological advancements we benefit from today. While these figures were transforming industry and technology, society was undergoing its own transformation, and that's what we'll dive into in our next segment. The Industrial Revolution was a time of dramatic change, not just in terms of technology, but also in society and the environment. As factories sprung up, towns and cities grew at an unprecedented pace. This urbanization brought about a shift in how people lived and worked, marking a departure from agrarian life. The allure of better wages drew people to these industrial hubs, leading to overcrowding and poor living conditions. This was the birth of the working class, subjected to long hours, low pay, and hazardous working conditions. Child labor was rampant, with children as young as 6 working in factories. This exploitation of labor was a dark side of the Industrial Revolution, a grim reminder of the cost of progress. But the societal transformations were not confined to urban areas alone. The countryside too felt the impact. Traditional farming communities were displaced as agriculture became more industrialized. On the environmental front, the effects were no less profound. The rise of coal as a primary source of energy led to increased air and water pollution. Forests were cut down to make way for factories and to fuel the growing need for resources. This early and extensive environmental degradation marked the beginning of our ongoing struggle with pollution and climate change. These changes were not without resistance. Movements like the Luddites emerged, protesting against the harsh working conditions and the displacement caused by new machinery. Yet despite the upheaval and strife, society adapted. The Industrial Revolution also laid the groundwork for many positive societal changes. It spurred advancements in transportation and communication, improved healthcare, and increased access to education. Over time, labor laws were introduced to protect workers, and social welfare systems were established. The effects of the Industrial Revolution were far-reaching, leaving a lasting impact that we still feel today. As we navigate the challenges of our modern world, we do so in the shadow of this transformative period in human history. The Industrial Revolution was more than a period of technological advancement. It was a turning point in human history. This seismic shift brought about a multitude of enduring impacts on society, economy, and culture, ushering in changes that have continued to shape and define our world. Among these, the rise of capitalism stands as a cornerstone. The Industrial Revolution transformed economic systems, shifting the focus from agrarian rural economies to industrial urban ones. It sowed the seeds of capitalism, a system that has since dominated the global economic landscape. This era also saw the birth of urbanization on an unprecedented scale. As industries burgeoned, people flocked to cities in search of work, leading to the growth of metropolises we see today. This mass movement of people from rural to urban areas marked a transformation in societal structures, altering the way we live and interact with one another. Then there's the transformation of work. The Industrial Revolution introduced mechanized production, creating new job opportunities but also rendering many traditional occupations obsolete. This shift in the labor market led to the development of new skills and professions, fundamentally changing the nature of work. But it wasn't all progress and prosperity. The Industrial Revolution also brought with it challenges that we grapple with even today. It set off a chain reaction of environmental degradation. with the rampant exploitation of natural resources and increased pollution becoming a significant concern. And while it led to economic growth, it also deepened social inequality, creating a chasm between the industrial elite and the working class. Yet it's undeniable that the Industrial Revolution has shaped the world we live in today. It has transformed our cities, revolutionized our economies, and redefined the way we work. And its influence isn't confined to the past. The advancements born out of this period continue to drive progress, inspiring new innovations and adaptations. The Industrial Revolution has shaped the world we live in today. It has left an indelible mark on our society, economy, and culture, and its legacy continues to shape our future.